like me, and a bad like me.
Welcome to another program, viewers and subscribers. Thank you for stopping by. With so many options, so many pages, so many channels, I really do appreciate you stopping by to listen to what this program has to offer. This week we want to touch on the justice system in Jamaica, i.e. the court systems, and the challenges we're having with some of these sentences. The DPP recently ruled that she will be appealing a sentence that was handed down to somebody who committed a double murder. So we're going to pick up a few paragraphs from this news item and then we comment on it. But before we do, once again I want to say big respect to all the frontline workers, the policemen, the firemen, everybody, the nurses, the doctors, all who consistently work throughout this pandemic to keep our country afloat. We say big respect to you guys for being there on the front line to help secure our future. Enough respect to you. We continue to pray for your covering and your safety during this time of uncertainty while working out there in this pandemic. Now let's just pick up a few paragraphs from this news item and then we comment on it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Stay for the enlightenment. Have your say. Get involved. Subscribe, comment, click, share. Let's go. As we stated, we're going to pick up a few paragraphs from this news article that was published in the Observer. It has to do with light sentence being handed down to somebody who is on 2 counts of murder, actually confessed and found guilty. So let's read. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, has served notice that it will appeal yesterday's 12-year sentence handed down to a man who had confessed to 2 counts of murder. According to the ODPP, the main basis of the appeal is that the sentence handed down was unduly lenient and inadequate given the circumstances of the cases. In a news release, the ODPP said Lindell Powell, otherwise called Lazarus, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder when he appeared in the Westmoreland Circuit Court on November 17, 2021 before Justice Bertram Morrison. The matter was transferred to Hanover Circuit Court for sentencing on December 2, 2021. Where he was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment at hard labor. He must serve 10 years before parole on each count. Outlining the case, Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn, QC, said Powell was taken into custody after being held with a firearm belonging to Oral McIntosh, a licensed firearm holder who was shot dead at his home at Top Lincoln District, Grange Hill, Westmoreland. During a question and answer interview held on July 15, 2017, Powell indicated that he was in the company of Logan Miller, otherwise called Alkaline, now deceased, on the day of the murder. Powell confessed that he and Alkaline were on the road robbing men and women when he saw 2 men in a yard. He went to them and said, "Go down on your face." While the men were on the ground, he said Alkaline found a gun on McIntosh, shot him in his head and took the gun. Powell also confessed to the murder of a man named Ida Clark in March 2017 at Mount Mountain, Grange Hill, Westmoreland. When he was asked what part he played in that murder, he said, quote, "Fire 5 shot in him chest," end quote. According to the DPP, Defense Counsel Dion Mailer Barrett in mitigation said that Powell was forced to participate in these murders, in these and other criminal activities out of fear. She also said that the government and society had failed him. Stop there for a second. The government and society failed him, like most of us. So that give you a right to take the life of another? Really? According to the DPP, the judge went on to read from the social inquiry report saying, not raised to be a religious person, never exposed to religious services, this is the problem, no moral upbringing. So what this judge is basically saying is that if the person is not brought up to go to church and no moral upbringing, then literally they're going to go astray and kill people. So the story goes on, and then the judge basically sentenced Powell to 12 years imprisonment at hard labor. He said he must serve 10 years before parole on each count. The sentences are to run concurrently, meaning that in respect of both counts, the convict will only serve 10 years in all. 2 murders. 2 murders. 10 years. Isn't our justice system a joke? There's a clip of the Commissioner of Police that I played some time ago. Let's revisit that clip and then we come back for comment.
But I am saying today that unless we take a different approach different arrangements, that the persons who commit crimes, that the persons who are in possession of firearms, who are walking up and down with those firearms, if we do not do something about those persons, that matters, that deters, that keeps them from doing it, we will continue with the problem. I'm saying that in an environment where 92% of our people last week were killed by a gun, and 85% year on year are murdered with a gun, it cannot be. And for whatever reason, I'm not ascribing reason or blame. I'm saying that it's not adequate when I review 16 cases from the beginning of the year, and in no case of those cases of illegal possession were the persons required to go to jail. None in 16 cases. It's either a fine, a suspended sentence, or probation. This is real. I'm not blaming anyone. It's just how our system works. And there's a reason why it hasn't been effective in deterring, because it's not deterrent in nature. It doesn't deter. It cannot deter at that rate.
Absolutely no deterrent. It cannot be a deterrent if when these criminals are caught, if they are caught, they get these light sentences, then it is easy. The talk is on the road, that a man, yo, me not take no disrespect from no man, and a boy can this, me prefer shot a boy or dig off a boy face and go sit down in prison for a couple of years and come back a road. And when me come back a road, me have done some people again. That's the talk out there. So when a criminal look at these things, they don't even think twice before they pull that trigger. No, the Prime Minister the other day is talking about some serious legislation is to come, and a lot of people lambast him about we shouldn't start a death penalty because a man is found with a gun.
Some point someone has to stand up and say the victims count, the victims matter, and that we must move with speed and alacrity to put in place the legislative framework to enable our security forces to bring this murder pandemic under control. At some point, we can't be tippy-toeing around the legal issues and the niceties. We have to confront the issues. And if it requires us bringing legislation to ensure that we are acting without question within the Constitution, then we will do it.
If it was left up to me, that legislation would have been crafted, signed and sealed instantaneously. You can't just wantonly kill people. People are losing their lives and it doesn't count, because this is what this judge is basically saying to me, that the two deceased, them no value more than somebody got 10 years, go do 10 years. No. This justice system, these archaic laws, I guess the judge have to abide by certain sentencing guideline. That needs to be changed, because this cannot continue. It cannot. If this continues, then there is absolutely no deterrent. The commissioner is right. There are no deterrent. A man get caught with a gun, automatically, and you shouldn't see the light of day again. Number one, if you're not intent on using it, why are you having it? Where you get that gun from? You can't buy that gun because most of you don't have the money to buy the gun. So where you get it from? Who's supplying you with gun? You see, this whole other issue that we need to attack, we don't have space for it on this program, about this whole informer for dead, that culture, that informer culture. Listen, we need to retrain our people. We need to refocus them about giving information to the authorities. You understand? Because without that, no matter how hard the police work, the police is just going to get one and two of these guys. We have over 1,000 murders. This is just one man who commit 2. Right? And he's now been sentenced, pretty much going on a vacation to come back. No, we have to seriously reconsider how we dispense justice in this country, because those are my relatives. I don't feel like there was justice. and where that have built up in me. Because the truth is, I'm going to say something and I know I might get flack for it, but that's okay because it is the reality. Some of the killings are not really innocent killings, Some of them are reprisals because the system failed to deliver justice. So someone decides, say, ooh, I have to get justice, and the only way them can get justice is by reverting to the gun. And in some cases, you probably have to look on it and say, boy, you probably would have do the same. No, I am not giving license or authorizing anyone to go and kill somebody, but I can understand the pain, because how can this be my brother that this man killed, and he's only gonna get 2 murders, and he's only gonna get 10 years? 10 years? No. Jamaica, we can do better. We have too much bright people out here. We have too much scholars and Queen's Councils and all of these people. Too much bright people. And some of these lawyers who are getting big money to defend some of these criminals, yeah, you're found wanting. The scale is weighed and you're found wanting. You need to check your morality. I know that you have a job and you have to defend because that's your position. But you notice how interesting, sometimes when you look in a courtroom, you have 2 prosecutors, but you have all 5 defense lawyers. Criminality pays. Criminality pays. That's what I have to say on this topic for this week. Subscribe, leave your comment, and share. Peace out until next time. Bless up.